I'm Matt Koss, and welcome to The Wandering Screen. Hi, welcome to The Wandering Screen. I'm Matt Koss, and thank you for joining me today for my review of Past Lives. Writer and director Celine Song premiered her debut feature film Past Lives at the Sundance Film Festival in 2023. A year later, the film has over 200 nominations, including the Academy Award for Best Picture, and it's still playing in theaters today. Past Lives is the story of two childhood friends whose connection over decades brings them together for 1 week as they confront the choices they've made in their lives. It's unhurried, tender, and universal, and asks us to consider the way people move through our lives and how two deeply connected humans reverberate through each other's. When the film opens, we meet 12-year-old Si-young, who learns that her family will be moving to Canada from Korea for her father's job. She will be leaving behind her best friend and childhood crush, Hae-Sung, and before they leave, Si-young asks her mother if they can go on a date. So, chaperoned by their mothers, Si-young and Hae-Sung play under a statue in the rain in a park, while Hae-Sung's mother questions Si-young's mother about the decision to move to Canada. Si-young's mother responds, "You have to leave something behind in order to gain something else." Si-young, 12 years later, is now going by Nora and is played by Greta Lee. She's studying literature in college and lives in a small studio apartment in New York City. One day, while speaking to her mother on the phone, she remembers her childhood crush on Hae-Sung and decides to look him up on Facebook. And when she finds out that Hae-Sung actually reached out, she immediately sends him a friend request. In Korea, Hae-Sung, now played by Teo-yu, receives her message. Nora and Hae-Sung start messaging each other frequently, catching up on years of life, and the connection remains, and in this new chapter of their lives, feels like it could be something more. Hae-Sung is studying engineering and aspires to learn Mandarin. He has limited time off, so scheduling to meet each other in either Korea or New York is difficult. When Nora is accepted into an artist residency in Montauk, she tells Hae-Sung that she wants to stop talking for a while. The late-night phone calls, the time difference, and searching for flights constantly are keeping her from committing to the life she's creating for herself. Hae-Sung is devastated, and soon a while becomes 12 more years and we move into the future again. So much can happen to a single person in a day, let alone 12 years. And this story, which spans decades, could feel like there's more to explore about Nora and Hae-Sung in those missing years. But Past Lives is a film about the present moment of two lives intersecting. A few brief scenes separate Nora and Hae-Sung, like seeing Hae-Sung's life in Korea and showing us when Nora meets her husband Arthur, John Magaro, at their artist residency. But mostly we see their moments in childhood, their early 20s reconnection, and when they finally meet face-to-face in New York as they're settling into adulthood. They're again different people. Celine Song moves through the connection rather than the entire life. This concept of inyun, which basically means that every interaction between two people is a layer on inyun, both past and present. So two people getting married could be 8,000 layers of inyun. And what makes this concept so important for Nora is that it ties her back to her Korean heritage and the prospect of a life she could have had if she'd never left Korea. It's also the possibility that everything is as it should be, but Hae-Sung interprets it differently. When we reflect on the choices we've made in our lives, can you change course and explore a missed opportunity? And at what point do you need to move on from what could have been? Greta Lee, who also stars in Apple TV Plus's The Morning Show, and Teo-yu encapsulate this deep connection across the decades so warmly. In one scene, Hae-Sung meets Nora at a water fountain in Manhattan. He's looking every bit the anxious child, standing still, eyes drawn to the ground, when he hears Nora call out his name. He practically melts when he sees her as she slowly makes her way to him. And the closer she gets, the sharper that electricity between them. It's shot so delicately, and my heart was racing for this physical connection that's been delayed by so many years. It's romantic and generous and daring, and Lee and you are exceptional here. The use of space in the film also highlights how small these moments or these chances are for connection. Celine Song and cinematographer Shabir Kirchner keep the images moving. It's like we're spectators in this reunion journey, and we're held back far enough to observe and not interfere. And the interior shots are beautifully intimate, like a scene between Nora and Arthur in bed having a discussion about Hae-Sung re-entering Nora's life. The sincerity of this film got to me, and not just because the connection between these two particular characters, but that a connection like this exists at all. We're all living lives with colourful moments and connections that are fleeting. Sometimes we find that people latch on and others aren't sticking around that moment in time. It can matter where you are in life and whether that space in your life is open, but that the choices that we have made to get to that point aren't laced with regret. What's done is done. Perhaps the connection will be explored more deeply with presence and vitality in the next life.
Who do you think they are to each other?
I don't know.
Yeah, this is a hard one.
I think the white guy and the Asian girl are a couple, and the Asian guy is her brother.
Or the Asian girl and the Asian guy are a couple, and the white guy is their American friend.
You're not even talking to the white guy.
Maybe they're tourists, and the white guy is their tour guide.
Drinking at 4 a.m.
Yeah, you're right. That makes no sense.
Maybe they're all just colleagues.
I have no idea.
Thank you for joining me today. Please leave a comment. I'd love to know what you thought about this film and this review. And please subscribe to my channel. I look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks.